When you're not open about your own mental health, professionals we spoke with say it can be harder to help those you care about with their struggles.
As we wrap up this Men's Mental Health Month, we are learning why that is so important. According to the U.S. CDC, in 2022, men took their own lives nearly 4 times more than women. That rate increases for teenagers. White males accounted for 68.5% of suicide deaths in 2022.
And behind each statistic is a name, like Grayson Murray. The professional golfer took his own life last month after finishing a round during a tournament. The news sparked conversations around the sports world about the importance of mental health, conversations that trained professionals have every day around Maine.
Our Sam Rogers shares some of their lessons and how all of us can use them in our daily lives.
You got to play to your expectations. They don't know what it's like to, be in your shoes, to have all this pressure and eyes on you. So that's something I still remind myself too.
This week, Topsom's Caleb Manuel played his first tournament in our state as a professional. The individualized nature of the sport can be rewarding when things go well and frustrating when they don't. Like many professional athletes now, Manuel works with a sports psychiatrist, reminding him to think positively and to play for yourself.
I jot it down in my yardage book and just say, play to your expectations.
Not living in my head is a much more satisfying way to live.
Paley Berlin never thought he'd be a licensed therapist. Helping others became his passion after volunteering at a suicide crisis hotline.
Deep, life-changing connection can happen with strangers. If we're willing to take off our masks.
It's a mantra he brings to his group sessions for men, where he says there's nowhere to hide.
And a group is designed for honest, candid transparency and feedback. It's sort of hard to find in our culture, people to be honest with us in a kind way, but also not mincing words. A lot of the men I work with have never done any kind of therapy before, and they've never really opened up to someone before, and maybe even are opening up to me before opening up to their own family members.
Which Berlin says can affect our closest relationships.
If I haven't practiced opening up to people myself, I'm not going to be able to go there fully with other people.
It's about healing people. It's about creating a society where people are more connected.
That's Bruce King, the executive director of Maine Boys to Men.
We often limit the possibilities of what we can be as men. And that causes damage. That hurts us in not being able to be fully human.
For 25 years, the organization has worked with middle and high school students across the state.
What is my identity? What is my connection to the world? And if you're being blocked off from that, then you don't get to realize the possibilities that exist. And that's really sad, And I think people later in life very often go through periods where they're literally mourning what could have been. And so why mourn what could have been when you can, reach young people early on so they don't have to realize that they missed out on something.
The organization also works with parents and adults. It's a mission to create a safer society where men don't use strong feelings like rage in violent ways, harming others or themselves.
When we make space for rage in a healthy expression, there's also more room for genuine grief.
Berlin practices somatic psychotherapy, a body-based approach to counseling focusing on things we can control, like breathing.
Which is particularly helpful for people who have a serious trauma history, because trauma is something that we store in our physical bodies.
He says it can help turn off the noise, which can be beneficial for all Mainers.
We sort of live in our minds, and a lot of us could probably relate to our own minds sometimes not being the best companions for us.
Exploring nature and grounding yourself are other ways, Berlin says, that can clear and open your mind.
It's sort of having a little bit of humility that maybe I don't know everything about myself. Maybe there are things that I could learn about myself that would enable me to feel even more satisfied with my life, even though it's already going pretty well.
Sam Rogers with our report. Now, Paley Berlin also tells his clients about lessons learned from people who are at the end of their lives, reflecting back on things they wish they had done.
Like, I wish I had the courage to be myself, or I wish I allowed myself to be happy. Berlin says it's a way to learn about the importance of investing in your mental health now. We have more details about those reminders and more from our conversations on our website and our News Center Maine app.